deviation. What we kind of predicted played out. This was a short that we were eyeing originally, and I basically said I don't really like it because the one thing I would love to see is the high get taken and then take it on the way back. Did I? No. However, it played out, so we'll take that. Um, how is everyone doing? Hope everyone had a good Easter. Um, I'm just gonna sort some things out here from my side. Uh, and then we will get into the charts. Okay, so I think there's a couple of things that we have to acknowledge, right? Which is why I think today will be pretty tough to navigate. So let's just focus on NQ right now. Um, Start higher time frame. Previous week. Previous week slept outside, swept outside the low, and then came back inside. However, one thing to note, it was an inside candle. Other than that, it didn't trade to the high, traded more or less um, to the discounted area, and now we are, we're heavily deep in discount, probably like 75, 80% in discount. I think a lot of people will be looking at this as some sort of golden pocket retracement from the high to the low. However, basically, I want to highlight two things. The weekly highs that we've had um, the last couple of weeks have all ended up marking some sort of top, right? Yeah, we trade through them or whatever, but you get the point. We have just traded through that weekly high during London. Um, we don't have a 4 hour high, but we'll get into that. So overall, that kind of leaves me pretty bearish from this spot until proven otherwise. If we were to blast through here and start trading up here, I think that that is the real shift back up towards some of these highs. We might do that, but overall, I think that if we can get through this area today, through this high, I think we stand a real chance of going higher based off of that. Then when I go down to the lower time frame, up to the daily, we have this daily inversion, which is an area that me and Yuno were calling during London to hold. It held. We had New York open, and then we rallied right out of it. Couldn't trade into the high, and then we got an inside bar, and now we traded from the low on the inside bar on Friday. No high, no low. And then today we swept out the low, swept out the high, swept out previous week high. I think that they have to defend this area for upside. Otherwise, it's likely that we fail back into, I guess, this range right now. And I think the main area for me would be here, and kind of go from there. That's my bias, right? So how do I look for that? Well, we had a pretty nice V shape out of this low, W V shaped out, and now we're getting some sort of W again, and we're breaking through to the upside. I would fade this, but that's just because of the type of person that I am. However, to do that, I need a 4 hour high. We don't have a 4 hour low. Um, However, we don't need a 4 hour low right now. We need a 4 hour high for me, at least. If we trade into a 4 hour low without leaving the high, it would naturally leave me bullish back towards the high. And then if I go down to the hourly that we were looking at during London, um, we swept out that high that we were looking at above previous week high. And basically, we've had downward movement since. Um, my favor on this is that we trade lower at New York, we come back for the 6 o'clock high, and then we die from that with 10. So for me right now, I'm looking to fade this until 10. And at 10, I would like to see us reclaim this high and then die, which to me would be like a higher time frame reoffer that we look to sell. If we get stopped on this and we start accepting above this area, we start trading 24 400s, I think I sit out of the market today and I flip long bias for the rest of the week. That is how I pretty much approach every chart on a Monday. Um, the Bulls have opportunity here, but if they fail, it's really not a good look. Um, so yeah, and then the trade we had this morning was me and we're just eyeing this. We wanted longs off this low. They basically just kind of pussied out here and it just ran away from us. Um, Here we were like, yeah, we could short this. However, because of the hourly turn at 5, we were like, went up, took the high, gave us what we wanted, and then it gave us a reoffer of that level before trading lower. Like I said, I didn't trade it because it was after 5. I don't really trade after 5, especially on a Monday. Um, so that is kind of what I'm looking at right now. Um, I would like to see some sort of reoffer into this area to get short. And if we can get short, great. There's lots of liquidity sitting around these 24,200 levels. That's the area that I would like to see. However, we have a pretty large Asia range. However, we swept practically all of this liquidity on the daily time frame, like I said, and now we're re-accepting all the way back up into the highs. So I think that today is going to be a hard day to navigate. And for that, I personally will be trading lower size. Um, and then I'm kind of just going from there. Ultimately, I want to fade the move up because it's history has told me, especially on this move down, that weekly highs and daily highs have been pretty good areas to get short from. If I take a few losses or they start to accept through that level without offering me something, I'll probably just stay out of the market. That's my plan. Well, how that goes, we'll see. But that's my plan, and that's my daily bias. Chat, how are we? Any questions on that? Menk, I'm good, brother. Alex got lucky. He had a buy limit exactly at the end of the wick. However, he got out of his short break even, but that TP didn't get removed, so I got filled and it went up 1k. Congrats, bro. Congrats. We all good though, boys and girls? We've got the open coming up in about an hour and 15. I will be jumping off just after 10 today. I've got some things that I need to take care of. Leo will be joining us at 9. And yeah, my bias on that's my bias indices. My oil really finding hard resistance at this 113 level, which happened to be Friday's open, um, which is pretty bad for us because if we want NQ to go down, we need oil to go up. And then gold, I think gold looks pretty bullish right now, especially considering that previous day sweep and the previous day high. I kind of want to see where this daily candle ends up. It opened low and it's closing high. So if we look on the daily, it gapped lower and it's just pushing higher. If we get a 4 hour low on gold, naturally I'm going to look to long because that kind of goes with my bearish thesis on NQ as well. Um, However, we will see. We will see. Ultimately, the market gold open is in 6 minutes, so ours will be on gold for the time being. And then in around 9:30, we'll obviously switch over to NQ. Feel free to ask any questions, anything you want to know, etc. I'm from Bali. I'm currently struggling to choose from the best firm that's allowing Indonesia. What are your options? I can find out for you. Um, I can ask my little AI that has all of the information that I would ever possibly want to ask it. That I'm currently in the process of training. Traderfy must offer Indonesia because Celine trades with them. and she's from Bali. She lives in Bali right now. Good morning, Chronic. Tell Apex to allow Namibia. Okay, the problem is, right, is actually there are two reasons that a firm might get banned. One, the CME don't allow it. And up until recently, the CME didn't allow South Africa. They only just recently allowed it. So that isn't a decision that Apex made. That was a decision the CME made. And two, fraud, like card fraud. And I just hate to say this, but typically a lot of the countries that are banned is mainly down to card fraud. You get a group of people that are just trying to scam a business, and they just ban the whole country because the card fraud outweighs, the amount of people that trade with them. Good morning, Deep G. What's good? Chilling. Had a good Easter. Rested up with the doggos and the fam. Kind of stayed off my phone all weekend. Is Traderfy good for newer futures traders? Let me just confirm. Let me just confirm if Traderfy is accepts Indonesia. You got two XL bullies. I've got two toy multi-poos. They're tiny, but they're fucking cute. All right. I know you'd think like, what, Kane? Why have you got some multi? They're cute. They're fucking cute, and everyone I take them to loves them. Traderfy restricts Indonesia. Damn. Let me ask. Let me see if there are any firms. Yeah, they are cute. They're very cute. XL bullies. Do you live in the UK or not? Yeah, they restrict. That's right. I'm asking. I've got something that can query the API on the website. So give me a second. Just querying it. Southwest London. Do you have much problem with them, bro? Like, as in the police, or do you have to do you have to register them and whatnot? A girl I got the country. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah. Okay. The I can't query it right now. Alex can help you though. Alex will look. Um, yeah. Let me know if you have any problems with them because a girl I used to go to school with, she has a couple of XL bullies, and all she complains about on fucking Instagram is um that they get treated so unfairly and whatnot. And I mean, it's not nice, but like, I also know a couple of people in my village that have them, and like, they just seem to not give a shit. They're like, yeah, whatever. Like, they need to be muzzled. That's it. Which is not nice, but at the end of the day, like, I think, I mean, if my dog was aggressive, I would muzzle him. Like, and I think that a lot of people would argue that bullies can be aggressive or protective. I remember my staff was soft as shit. Wouldn't bite a fucking soul, but he'd give on the front that he would tear your throat out if you come near him. God, he'd lick you to death at best. My nephew punched him in the face once, and he didn't flinch an inch. You know, he just took it, but he'd give on the front that he could take on the world. So, Jay, Kane, I have zero experience. Do you think Tradeify will accept me? What do you mean by accept you, mate? I'm confused. Yeah, Zio, because I actually have a framework that allows me to target things that, for example, right? Say we get an hour low sweep here, right? And then we start reclaiming. I don't have any targets other than this high. let's just argue and say that that high wasn't there, right? I could target something like this, right? Say that this is where it ends up sweeping. I could target the -2 or the -4 of deviation. It's typically where I use it. Yeah, comes down to the owner, not the breed of the dog. Facts, brother. Facts. Facts. To put, yeah, yeah. They'll if you purchase an account with them, Jay, they'll accept anyone will accept you if you purchase an account with them as long as you're not from a if you're from an allowed country, you're not from a restricted country, um, and kind of go from there. But yeah, I mean, you should just be careful, Jay. If you're new to prop, buy the cheapest account, get used to it. Don't spend more than you would possibly ever want to, based on the idea of potentially making money. Because it's going to be hard. You're going to lose a bit of money. You're going to pay tuition to the market to learn, and it's important that you control that tuition spend. All right, so all firms will accept you. There's no like, oh, you have to pass the test or do any of this stuff. Like you just have to pass the challenge to get funded. As long as you follow the rules, you'll get paid. As long as you're not from a restricted country, and you can pass KYC. That's pretty much all the requirements. There's no like you have to be good at maths or anything like that. So they'll all accept you. But the best thing to do is read the rules, and if the rules aren't um, that easy to read for you, or you think it's written in a different language, join the prop firm compare Discord and ask someone in there, because that Discord is made for that. Um, the team in there will give you the answers you need in the way you need it. Do I have a video on standard deviations? I never really used them. Um, I do deep. In all honesty, the only video I really have on it is a group mentorship that I did about a year ago. Um, and those guys paid $1,000 to be in that mentorship. I personally think it was pretty cheap. Um, so I would feel bad giving it away for free. But what I can do is I can get another one made. However, in a couple of months' time, that won't be a problem. We'll have a bunch of free videos on a bunch of different stuff that you guys will be able to use. But ultimately, the long and short of Gold's correcting. The long and short of standard deviations is, let's just say, let's find out weekly high we drew, right? This is how I use them. Different people use them in different ways. So this high swept and then closed back inside. I would argue that this is where the move started, right? Um, that's personally where I would argue with it. So what I would do is I would go down and figure out where the real move happened, like where that real, like what really started it. So I would say, so for me, I think that the move started here, right? It manipulated higher and went lower. Got a reaction out of minus two here, pulled back into discount. Got a reaction off -4, pulled back all the way, basically sweeping out some liquidity. That standard deviation looks pretty correct to me. Same thing here. No reaction, probably not that valid. Go up a time frame. Yeah, it's there. Semi reaction. Like you get reactions off of this area. Some people like it to be like pinpoint accurate. I just like did we hit -2 and did we, you know, have some sort of reaction in the time frame that followed? Yep. -4. Yep. However, it just failed all the way to the downside. So again, it pulled back and kind of went from there. And actually, you could almost say that this was actually the more of the higher time frame standard deviation from that high to there. That kind of aligns a lot better. You got a good reaction, practically off -4 here. Reaccumulated, went lower. Um, but that's just how I would use them, right? Like the super higher time frame one. Once you hit -4, you want to see 50% hit. So like for me, at this specific point, so you've hit -4. You're waiting for some sort of swing. However, whatever time frame, I'm just doing on the higher time frames. This is your true 50%. However, this is actually more likely the area that I'd want to see swept. And then to do that, there you go. You get a reaction off one. Does it go for the next? No. So this is that kind of held. So this is the area that I'd look for. And then inside of this area, you can redraw it. So you just wait for the sweep. And then you should get a reaction here. If it goes, there you go. Hit -2, got a pretty good reaction back up. Again, all you really want to see now, and again, I'm not drawing this super accurately, so it might be wrong. All you really want to see is a sweep of this high. And if it fails back inside of here, you can target -4. There you go. It's a pretty good failure. Oh, it's swept again. Gapped up, so now it's invalid for me. So like you would trade it to here, tried to short these highs, got blasted through. That's kind of the way I use it. And then we gapped up, went lower. You got a break. Some would argue that this is now the deviation. Oh, no. Hits -2. Good reaction. I don't like the gap. The gap puts me off. But again, just drawing it roughly. 50% of this move. Went all the way through, maybe. Yeah, invalidates that. So yeah, that's typically where I look for. The -2s are my main target, like practically always. So, but that's only when I don't have like a 50% target, because what I can do is I can trade from that 50% as well, you know. Market's pretty boring right now. We're kind of waiting for things to align and go from there. NQ's looking, I hate to say this word, but bull flaggy, bear flaggy. And go, it's flagging this way to then just drop. Zar, my good friend, how are you? How are you? Deep. I don't think they're needed. No, like I filter them out a lot of the time. But what I will say, and I've heard this from a lot of people, if you and guys, please like, you know, give your opinion to Deep G. If you're struggling to find a target and you can go lower time frame to like, you know, like down here, like it's pretty clear that they tried to sell it lower, they bought it up, and then they took it lower again, right? If you're struggling to find like a real target here, like I probably want to target the whole collapse of the move, -2, -2.5, like okay, we got a pretty violent move through it, right? But on the way back, we kind of hold this area. It's a pretty good area to just get out of the market and reassess. And if it goes all the way to -4, typically you will get a bounce around there. And if not, and it just melts through on this move, you more or less can rule that out as a bad day for me. Like if we were to just melt through 24,200, then like for me that at that point, if the market doesn't move to standard deviation to deviation level, then I'm kind of out of it. I used to trade them more or less exclusively, but I just feel that like 50% of the market are just more reliable for me. But I mean, I've had tons of people say to me, standard deviations keep me in my trades longer. Where I think, oh, it's not going to play out, it's not going to play out. I just target -2, -2.5, and that's it. Vlado, good morning. Anchor standard deviations from the highest or lowest after the time frame you're planning to trade. For example, if you want to trade a 4-hour P3, anchor the close to the 4-hour open after manipulating into a higher time frame PD area. Yep. There's tons of good videos on them, you know. I personally trade them a bit differently. I factor in divergence to it. If one asset took the high and the other one didn't, I will still draw it from the high, from the SMT high. And you'll notice that like on the way down, they'll both react from their relevant -2, -2.5s. So one thing I disagree with is when people draw them like this. I always am of the opinion that manipulation has to start in the past and end in the future. So the past, the future, they go this way, right? Like you're drawing it from the high, you're drawing the low first, and then the high is after the low. Some people like to draw it like this. I don't think that that makes sense because I manipulated the high, bought it low, and then whatever. The whole reason that this exists for me is sellers bought price down, buyers bought price up, and then they failed. All I'm trying to do is use this leg to say, if I'm selling this leg, I want to get rewarded 2 times the amount of effort that it took to manipulate that leg. That is personally how I do it. You know, like T trades will also, let's just say like let's find an area. Let's just say down here, T trades would probably draw it like this because this is the break and he would draw it like that. And again, doesn't look wrong, does it? -2, good reaction, pull back into 50%, now trading higher. Some would argue that we're set to go higher. That's not how I use them. I don't draw them from breaks because it's not that I don't see a lower time frame swing here. Yeah. Like I don't necessarily subscribe to the whole market moves to this point. Well, that's not necessarily true. I draw it as it took them this amount of effort to get it above the high. If they want to then collapse that move and get rewarded for it, they need to get rewarded 2 times the amount they put in. That's it. And if they really want to drag it out and make that area fail, then they should be rewarded 4 to 5 times the amount. That's the only logic I use for it. Like I don't use this is the way that the algorithms do it. Like I just don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that side of it. Like I'm of the opinion that the market moves to reward market makers, and I'm trying to step in their footprints as close to them as possible. Do I use any time frame alignment on your model? I do, but I don't do it in the same way that T does it as well. I like T's version of it, like 4 hour lines with the 15 and the hourly lines with the 5, etc. But all I'm looking to do is I'm looking to align the 4 hour with the daily with the hourly, and then I'm using the lower time frames for ways to get into my trades via inversions. That's it. I'm not really like I'm not really sitting on the lower time frames to mark out swings or anything like that. All I really, really care about is 4 hour highs and lows. And then I drop to the hourly because when they align well, you know? Yeah, yeah. Like me and T are really good friends. I'm not like slugging him off, you know. I like the way he does things and I can really understand the reasoning for it. And it makes sense. Like it works. There's no denying it doesn't work. But I just don't resonate with it as much as other people do, you know. But I've also found my way to be profitable my way. Slim, hope you had a good Easter, my boy. There you go. So look, we've got that standard deviation. This is how I would truly draw the premium discount. So now for me, this is the high. Drace. T even gave you a shout out in one of his lessons. Was it the reversal one? The reversal sequence. Yeah, candle two, yeah. Um, so yeah. Is there a difference in the way you used to trade forex? I would say so. Typically, when forex is a lot more range bound, so that's kind of where I got my like fading highs to lows thing from, right? Because like it just officially, if you look at Euro USD, you zoom out, there's no arguing this is not just like one big range, right? If you go on the monthly, you'd have a hard time telling me that's not a range, to be honest. You know, you look to buy up these lows. Okay, you take some losses on the way down. You get all the money back. Buy the low again. Buy the low again. If we even if we add the midpoint, take profit there, flip bullish on the way back down. Legend. That sounds like it was thanks to you, my boy. You're the one that made the work and did the work. So I can take no credit other than congratulate you. That's it, my friend. Congrats on the payout. Hard work fuck pays off. Gold is kind of really pushing lower here after that opening print. Oh no, go straight back to it. My bad. Why could they? Oh, they hit They hit discount, which is crazy. Discount, but it was such a large candle. They came all the way for the low and then took it higher. Drace, are you watching the race? Out of interest. Deep. How did it feel? Obviously, kind of surreal. Um, yeah, I'm also watching it. It's on my other screen right now. So, um, obviously surreal. Like, there's obviously a part of me that thought, "There's no way I'm going to get paid this money." Um, but at the same time, I was kind of really it was kind of a plan for me, right? Like Alex would tell you this, or a fees. Like there's lots of people that I had conversations with about what I planned to do when the sales were on. So it took a lot of planning to figure out like what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. But also at the same time, the markets aligned for me very well. Um, I got one of my red days reset, which helped. Um, not because of my fault. It was just I took a losing trade and then Trade of Eight went down in the afternoon. They reset all red days, so I got one of those reset. Didn't set me back too much, but it was probably one of my larger red days compared. But yeah, just everything aligned for me. So it's a mix of things, right? Same in January last year. The market aligned for me really well. I got paid a lot of money, and there are just periods where the market doesn't really align for me a whole bunch. Um, and you'll have people online that's like, yeah, you can't trade for shit. Do this, do that. Like, sure, but I've done this long enough now to know that I'm gonna have losing periods, and I'm okay with that. My job is to keep my losers small, and then when it's the winning periods, I just put my foot to the floor as quick as possible. There are times when I win what two or three, and then I'm back into like a break even losing period. Because the way I trade is a very niche market, and I haven't been able to adjust it to trade a different way. But to answer your question, it felt amazing, obviously, but it was very surreal, and it was kind of like a pinch me moment with that. So you know, but yeah, there's an element of luck, but also there's an element of luck with everything. You know, I'm not of the opinion that anyone knows what the market is going to do. I don't care who you are. I'm of the opinion that nobody in this world knows what the market is going to do because that's the whole point of the market. The market is there for open auction, and if you want it to do a certain thing, you can put your money on the market and show everyone your intention. And if people agree with you, they'll join you in that intention. That is the point of trading, right? When someone says it's going to do this with certainty, sure, if you have enough money, you can make that happen. Do I think AI will? Oh, sorry. Let me ask the AI question from Chronic first. What's your current setup? Well, I have my M3 Ultra, so I try to run a lot of local things, but most of the AI stuff that I do is local. Like it doesn't actually ever see the internet. It's just like passing data, making my life easier, doing research, understanding how, my tweets do based on certain things. There's just little things that like I test with. But most of my stuff is Claude, and when it's not Claude, it's Codex. So if I'm building something to do something else, I'll use Codex because it's better at code. It's not better at coding, it's better at making sure that the code is right. So the biggest thing for me is I ask Claude to do something, it does it, and then I ask Codex to review what Claude did. That's like the best workflow ever. For deep research, Perplexity is just the best. It's like not even close. Um, but if you need something that's like really, really multi-step and like really long to do something, Factory AI, someone put me on that. That shit is fucking cracked. You can put that on a mission to do something, and it can run for like 5 days straight and just figure it out. Um, and actually, I asked it to like one shot a mission control of all of the things that I did, and legitimately, it ran for like 5 days, and it works on a consumption basis, so it uses API tokens, not OAuth. But they've built something in there that means that you consume around ten times less than if you were to do it directly. So it uses Claude 4.6. But I'm not kidding you, I had 4.6 running for like 3 days straight on a project, and it charged me like 60 quid. By the way, I hit my Claude OAuth subscription plan quite a lot. BTC is close to 69,420. Yeah, it is actually. Am I using Factory AI as we speak? I'm not actually, but it's down here. It's down here on my taskbar. It's open. So for example, what I did the other day is it sounds really sad, right? But this is just a passion project of mine. I play a text-based video game, like a mafia video game from back in the day. I've said this a few times. I like that game. I play it a lot. Um, but on there, I play poker just for lols when I'm on my phone. But I want to be able to track how I do because they don't have it built in. I want to be able to track how much I actually make or lose playing poker when I'm like in the car or whatever. So I built something that can poll my API to the game and track my poker earnings, stuff like that. Let the AI play poker for you. I would. I think it's just not that. I think that's frowned upon. That's called real time assistance. Fire and sad at the same time. Yeah, but it like all it did was just like put factory AI on the mission and it figured it out and it one shot it. Like actually just one shot it. You know? So stuff like that. Anyway, back to markets. Jace, what do you think of the race, bro? Holy shit! Last night I couldn't sleep, bro. I was up. I was up watching. I was up watching that shit. Do you think their system is that good to detect that right now? The whole website's JavaScript, so yeah. Because JavaScript, if you're not human, JavaScript, yeah. I don't know, Drace. The switch to disc double disc now, kind of fire. Just saying. I think that was the play all along. But they've just got to relearn that comp. What about my question? What was your question, Legend? Oh yeah, the other AI thing. Do I think that AI will replace traders? I think if you like look at it statistically, it's almost a certainty, right? The large market participants are all algorithmically entered and closed. The greatest hedge fund of all time is one big computer. Take from that what you will. You know, the manual traders that are able to extract real edge from an AI driven market, those guys will print millions, tens of millions, because they'll be able to do it. But I think that the market will definitely move to more of a higher time frame, algorithmically traded market. Yeah, fired up Big Daddy for real, bro. Bro, I had it on my TV. I had the split screen, one Twitch, the other Twitch, and I was just watching them. And then when they got it to 0% and it went to the last phase, I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to bed. I can't. I'm not doing this anymore. No, I don't invert my charts. The trade long's better because it's just like a that's like a self fulfilling prophecy, right? You may be able to invert your chart, but you still know that it's inverted, so you still do the things that naturally you want to see anyway. Bro, they can't get to phase four. Trace, it's embarrassing actually. It's actually embarrassing. What is up with Mike's damage? By the way, guys, if you don't, am I bearish or bullish going into market open? I'm pretty bearish. I want to see a pullback. We set previous week high. We don't have a 4 hour high. So ideally what I'd like to see is I'd like to see some sort of stall and then fade 10, the 10 a.m. 4 hour candle, taking out the high. Not always bearish. I was bullish last week and I got fucking cooked at the start because we just pulled back after that melt up. I like to be bearish at spots where if we accept above I'm wrong. This is one of those like spots, you know? It's a really good spot to fade. Yeah, but that mythic phase looks shit actually, Trace. Just live, deal with all of the ad spawning, deal with the fucking sprays, and just fucking like absolutely nuke the boss. I think that's kind of shit, to be honest. Guys, does anyone else play World of Warcraft here or used to play as a kid or like an adult, young adult? I'll openly sit here and say when I was a kid, I played it a lot. Um, and yeah, we did get the retracement during London, Evan. The Goldan fucking mythic face, that shit was legendary, bro. We did get it, and it also took out the high, Evan. Remember, we were going to take it right here, and then it took out the high, and then we kind of got that move we wanted. You always watched it, but never played it. Bro played it a lot on his ass, and his ass. Okay, okay, Jace. Okay, okay, my boy. Chill out, chill out. How many Apex accounts did you have? I had 20, but the most I bought was 30. I don't enter on the sweep. T is more time frame, right? So, for example, on this trade, he would have loved this trade. 5 o'clock opened, took out the high. Now he has to wait till 6. And at 6 o'clock here, what he would do is he will wait for the wick to get put in. And then as it trades lower, he'll basically get into this on the way down. So he might like trade it here, stop above here, target 2R. So how would that have gone? Yeah, because he would have waited for this to close. So he would have entered right here. This is kind of the trade that he would project. But likely we have that hourly low now with the yes. So he would have got out of this. He would have got out of the way. See you later, Drace. Enjoy. Senior White House official plan for 45-day ceasefire between the US and Iran. So chill, waking up tomorrow, the liquid clip, celebrating and shit. Bro, he's such a hater. Go to sleep. How do you approach money management on props to get payouts? I've seen you take payouts successfully week after week. Um, I mean, the trick of trading in general, right, is to keep your losers small and your winners big. Um, but I think it's really important that once you've got a buffer, you're not afraid to use it. I see loads of people build a buffer or pass or get some profit on an account or even just a fresh funded account, and they're like, oh, 1K in drawdown on it. Good. That shit's supposed to be there to be used. You are supposed to pick spots where it makes sense to get short. Don't be afraid of drawdown. People get drawn down all the time. It's really fucking normal. And social media has this really bad way of portraying that drawdown is a bad thing, which I personally just cannot fucking get my head around. The easiest way to spot someone that is just a pathological liar is by them saying that they win all of the time, or that they turn up to the market and they make money consistently throughout a year, every month, every week, every day. That shit doesn't fucking exist, by the way. It's just not true. And if you think that you are better than everyone else, you are silly. So just cut yourself some slack. Oh, no, an increasing risk always. The times I go for larger moves, I personally think that my trading takes a downward spiral. I'm gonna be honest. I think that the times my trading has been really good is when I stick to what I know and I size up. But why is it different from the back test? Because you're not back testing with emotions, right? And when you're in a trade, like the best thing that most people could actually do is take a trade and leave it alone and walk away, because that's actually what you do when you back test. You skipping forward in time. You haven't got that emotional with like instability regarding the trade. You're like, yep, bang, TP, sweet, on to the next day. You should just take the trade, move on with your day. Found my trade. All right, guys, see you later. I'm in. Whatever happens now is out of my control. Like that is personally the better approach. But the reality is you're not going to do that because you want to probably get 2 or 3 trades in a day. You want to extract the most value. So you put consideration, consistency, or just swing from the get go. It depends, right? Like things are situationally relevant to different people. So like I can afford to just be like, right, I don't want to take 3 months on this one eval. I'm gonna I'm gonna just trade 4 evals. Every eval is just one trade for me. If I lose, I go to the next. If I lose, I go to the next. Where some people save up to buy evals and they should take the time with it. So like situationally it's different. I'm not like, you know, like I'm not really sat here like, oh, I could really do with pass getting a payout. My life's pretty good. My bills are paid for, probably indefinitely for the rest of my life. I do this now because I just want to extract money from the market, and I trade prop because I think it's free money. That's the truth. The day that I'm live with every prop or can't buy evals anymore, I won't trade prop anymore because I can't. You know, I won't be jumping around all these shady prop firms like trying to extract an income. You know, like the prop firms that we recommend at Prop Firm Compare, they're all the prop firms I want to trade with. If a good one comes in, I'll trade with it. You won't see me promoting, this competition poker style prop that I think is minus EV that, you know, I understand a lot of you don't relate to that, but I'm just giving you the facts. You're asking me to give you advice from a situation. You're asking for me about my situation. It's the wrong question. It's how should I do it? This is my situation. What do you think? For those of you in the Prop Firm Compare Discord, you'll see Divinity in there, right? Me and Divinity, we've known each other a while, and he'll ask me like, what do you advise on this? What's my advice to you, or what's my advice to everyone else? Because like, if I'm giving him advice, he's like uh he's like at that stage where he's making money. He wants to scale and make and become profitable long term to trade real size. He has completely different advice to someone else in the Discord, Should he waste time trading evals or just throw them into the abyss? I know he's got money. I know he's good for it. He can do that. So, so yeah, that poker prop tournament makes no sense. It's so dodgy. I think that the owners of prop firms should have a vested interest in the success of a prop firm, not hey guys, we make 20% on every dollar that goes through the door. Whatever happens out of our control, here are the rules. That's like not a business. That's cash cow. So doesn't necessarily make sense to me. Some people will disagree with that, but I'm telling you guys, I've had 20 DMs saying this is this is the new idea for a prop firm we're starting, and I pick it to bits and say there are situations where someone can be up a certain amount of money and there not be money to be paid to them because other people have made more money. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would I buy something where I'm up $1,000? I've met all the rules, but I'm not above the threshold to get paid because everyone above me has taken up all the balance. That makes no sense. I'm not going to trade more. I can go put that money in a different prop firm and still get paid that. So, like, yeah. So, you prefer trading only sim instead of live? What's your thoughts on this matter? Because when I open X, for example, a lot of people prefer sim because of the extra rules on the live trading. People prefer sim because there are lots of advantages to trading sim. If you really understand the way that the market dynamics truly work, then sim gives you the ability um to extract value consistently from sim. There's just no argument against that. The market works that the more market participants accept an area of price, the more it's likely to stay there. Price accelerates out of an area, it means that interest is no longer there, it's above. So then they hold and they push higher. In sim, you don't add to that interest in any way. So like your one, the hundreds and thousands of two, three lot contracts on the book on the sim order flow, they don't exist. If all of those things existed in real order flow terms, and there was like, the volume went 20x on the CME NQ futures, it's just nuts. And also, I will give you the example that someone asked me the other day. Kane, I got 5 TPT accounts. Typically, I always blow one to three, and then I get a payout on 2 to 4. I've been making 20 to 30K the last few months. What do you think? Well, how do you trade them? Well, I kind of just trade one until it blows, and then I trade the other, and then I trade the next, all in the same direction. So you're martingaling across 5 accounts, and then you are making money on the third, the fourth, and the fifth, sometimes the second. Yeah, well, that's not trading. That's just playing the game. You can't do that. You can't do that on a live account, guys. You don't have infinite amount of money, but he's making 20, 30 grand a month because he has an excess amount of money to do that over and over and over and over. He accepts that he doesn't have edge, but he's making money. He's profitable at prop. Is he profitable in a real market? No. And like Paul says, that whole idea is you can make more money copy trading sim, right? So yeah. Anyway, Bring in the big man. Pooks, how you doing?
There. Howdy, howdy. Hello, hello. How we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Happy Monday. We're back in California. Nice little 6 a.m. awakening. It's good,
Damn.
dude.
It's,
Getting
it's
on it.
not it's not sunny London.
It's not sunny London. It's not sunny London, but we got sunny California, so no complaints here. But happy
What's the weather
Monday.
like there?
Weather is looking like high 20, low 30 degrees Celsius. So pretty solid.
Guys, you know he's been spending too much time in London when he starts talking in Celsius.
As the American. Yeah, I don't even blame you. He's
Yeah,
not
it's
wrong,
crazy.
guys. I've been spending a lot of time there. Hey Leo, what's up, Slim? Yeah, we're getting on it here. 4 hour, 6 hour time frame looks quite interesting here. It's gonna be I think an interesting day for sure on markets.
All right, Leah, talk us through it. Let's go to Leah's chart and have a look.
Yeah. For Cali or London, though, I mean, can't lie. Both are really nice. They all have their pros and cons here. Alrighty, well, going into quick analysis here for the higher time frame chart. So 6 hour and 4 hour, definitely. We saw the Sunday open here reject off of this 6 hour and 4 hour fair value gap that just led to a very good 4 and 6 hour closure, bullish closure that led to a candle three expansion. Now what we're seeing is we've taken out the Wednesday 12 o'clock highs. And so currently for me, bias, just main question bias. I would like to see price continue lower. As of right now, since we've taken out the Wednesday 12 o'clock high, for me, I'm looking more for retracement lower here and then potentially looking for higher prices. Ideally, honestly, for this week, short-term bearish retracement into long-term bullish movement. Like I'm definitely thinking we could potentially see Wednesday, March 18th highs coming in relatively soon here. But as of right now, because we did sweep out a very relevant draw being this Wednesday 12 o'clock high, I'm more keen on wanting to watch for higher prices. But in the meantime, I do want to see a bit of a retracement leg, aka bearish retrace leg, prior to then framing a long signature. So 6 hour right here, as I mentioned, we have the 6 hour and 4 hour fair value that we rejected off of heavily, got a very good bullish closure higher that led to a candle three expansion and then now a C4 that led to the Wednesday high. So for me, as I mentioned, that's definitely what I'm looking for today. We already kind of had the expansion I was looking for yesterday. Ended up taking some overnight longs, which was really nice on MNQ, which ended up paying out quite well for these Wednesday 12 o'clock highs. And so for me, it's an interesting point in the market. I can either look for that bearish retrace or watch for that bearish retrace, frame an SMT continuation sequence, and see if we can eventually start targeting higher prices, like mid to high 24s. So it's what we're looking like right now, to be so frank with everybody here. That's at least what I'm looking at with indices. Commodities actually haven't gotten too good of a look at yet, so I can't give you guys a full rundown as to what I'm anticipating for commodities. But to be
Do gold.
frank,
Talk us through gold now. Let's do gold
talk us
together.
through gold now. Yeah, 4 hour analysis. First time I'm opening up the chart this week, but let's give this a go. One thing I'm seeing right now, definitely looking like gold is wanting to go lower. I've been really a fan of these 4 hour fair values that are forming. Massive 4 hour fair value that we saw the Monday 2 o'clock 4 hour pull into. For me right now, gold looking like it's going to want to see lower prices. I'm thinking if we can definitely make our way lower into like the Thursday 2 a.m. low, that could be an ideal spot. It's really going to depend on how we react to this 4 hour fair value. So ideally, two scenarios here. We did this 6 o'clock 4 hour until 10 o'clock is a retracement leg. We then inverse this fair value gap, see gold price continue higher. That would follow this general 4 hour bullish trend that we're seeing form here, or the following, where we've already tapped into this 4 hour imbalance. What we could see is a trace lower into the Thursday 2 o'clock low here, which would cause a failed inversion of this fair value gap here. So that's kind of what I'm watching for right now. So commodities potentially looking for lower prices here, especially with this reaction to the fair value currently on this 4 hour time frame. 6 hour, let me look at daily here as well. I mean, yeah, daily closure as well with the Thursday closure, since for those of you that are forgetting, we did have Good Friday last week. Honestly, could look for lower prices. So GC definitely looking more bearish than bullish here, especially on the daily time frame, rejecting off this daily fair value here as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. It's first I'll have to look at that a little more, but definitely looking lower prices on gold. And then when it comes to indices, looking for temporary bearish retrace followed by a bullish expansion higher.
Fair enough. I think we
Yeah.
agree on indices. I'd like to see gold trade a little bit higher into that previous day high. I think there's just a lot of liquidity above that previous day high.
hmm
that sits up there, and especially after I agree with you on the Thursday closure. I would like to continue with the current trend
Hmm.
higher. So if we can then get like a 4 hour low, I would probably look to trade that back up towards the high.
Definitely.
But I can frame gold both ways. I would just favor this overall continuation. I think that
Of the trend. Yeah.
the reaction on Wednesday was just massive, and I think that it's probably too much, and they retrace if most of it, if not all of it. And I think if they
Mhm.
start retracing all of it, then they start trading back up towards like 4,800, and then we get to 4,800, and suddenly 5K's in sight, and then before long we're kind of trading up most of the move down, and I think that then just becomes quite a bullish look. But if we accept below those Thursday lows, like you said, yeah, I think that it's kind of cooked for gold at that
Yeah,
point.
definitely.
And then indices, same thing. Took out that previous week high, took out that previous day high. I kind of just want to see a 4 hour high now get taken. And if that means that we have to wait till 10 to get some sort of 4 hour high to fade in the direction of the bearish retrace, great. If we get a 4 hour low prior to that, um, around, I don't know, 24,200, that low, it's like
Hmm.
50% of the move up overnight, a 4 hour low. And I think like if they protect that area, then they just start to accept back up to the upside. I would look to get long with that.
Definitely.
But it's
I'm gonna get
Monday,
to
it's
that.
after the bank holiday, and I think that we just need to let the market do its thing.
Definitely. I'm a fan of that. Yeah. Same idea with indices with you. But yeah, gold we can frame both ways. I'm just curious to see. I do see the vision as well here. We're actually are forming a really nice SMT at these lows with silver currently with gold on the 5. So this could be quite nice here too. We'll see what happens.
How would you have framed the we were discussing this earlier, actually, you can give your input. How do you think T would have traded the hourly 5 minute um at 6 o'clock
On what asset?
on NQ? Because the
On a
hourly swept out the high, and then 6 o'clock the 6 o'clock hourly closed back inside. I think a lot of the guys on their side would have traded like a 2 hour trade there on the 5 minute.
yeah,
Um
it's
I just wanted to see where you potentially would have framed that trade.
if I wanted, yeah, so with this sweep out, so higher time frame sweep out, this hourly sweep, I like this 5 o'clock sweep that led into the 6 open. So one major thing, this is one of the reasons I either trade SMT and gap fill, or reason I like to as well is we see a C2 close. So we have the C2 sweep with the 5 o'clock sweep. 6 o'clock opens, traces into an imbalance that formed during the previous candle two movement. So for a C3 continuation, I want to see a retracement into an imbalance like this fair value gap here. So this 5 minute fair value, we see that price traces back into it, where we see this bearish reaction from it. I would use the low of this here. I'll actually use the where is it here? We'll use replay really quick. I'll go through this. So typically, since we see this is the 6 o'clock up, we formed a C2 signature, confirm the SISD. This SISD confirmation also formed a very aggressive movement, which led to this fair value gap. So what I'm watching for is a retracement leg into this imbalance, which we see happens at the 610 candle. And
Yep.
so now if I'm trying to frame a continuation and on C3, I want to watch for a closure below this change in state of delivery. This would be your candle 3 change in state, because now if we end up tracing into this fair value gap and we close below this SIST, we've now created an internal protected high. So this would be a validated high. So I'd want to watch for closure. Once we see a closure, stop at this protected high being the 610 if this
Yeah.
is the protected high, and then target a 2R. And so here we see finally we get this closure, a bit of a shaky closure. Like, I mean, typically I like to see price. Yeah, this is not the ideal reaction I want to see. I typically want price to close relatively strong under that level.
Yep.
But once we do get a bearish closure, which I don't know even when it was here. Yeah, well, here we get a very reactive 645. This would have probably shaken me out of the trade, but just for general context, closure below this CST here, I'm going short right here, market order entry, stop at the protected high, being this fair value gap, the 610, targeting a 2R here. So I'd look for kind of like this framework right here. This would be how I would frame this continuation. Only thing is, once again, 645 is way too reactive. Plus, we had such an aggressive bullish wick that this definitely would have been a parameter for me not to enter the trade. But in general, had this not been an aggressive 645, this would have been an entry signature for myself. So here, enter
Yep.
this trade and then target the 2R, and we see that price ends up, I mean, a little shaky. We saw a consolidation here, and now price is still continuing into that level. But Protected high has still remained protected for the most part, so it's looking like we'll probably get it. It's also aligning well with this -2 standard deviation.
On the
So
15. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
yeah, so
I
this
agree.
is kind of how I'd frame that.
That was kind of what we were talking about this morning because when we were talking about the hourly 5 minute, everyone was like,
Mhm.
how would you enter this? And I was like, I think you have to enter at 650 on the closure, stop
Yeah,
above. I would have put my stop at the 635 high instead of that one. Oh wait, that
this is
you've moved it to the same one now.
yeah,
Um, and then target 2R, and that was kind of the trade. And then Paul just brought
yeah,
it up now,
definitely,
saying his T trades 1 to 2 trade. Would it have played out yet?
definitely.
But yeah, I'm glad we agree because we
Hmm.
actually had practically the identical thing.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm just gonna open a window. And then we got the open here in 20 minutes.
about 19 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, right now we're actually pulling into this 3-minute imbalance here. Very small. We'll see. Yeah, chat. How was everybody's Easter weekend? Happy late Easter to everybody. I know we weren't live yesterday, obviously. Markets are closed, but how was everybody's weekend? Did we have a good time in general? Are we good week reset before another fun week of
Ow.
trading? What's kind of the verdict from everybody here? Darian, Slim, MMNQES, Chazin, howdy folks. JL,
Guys, hit the like
honestly.
button for Leo's entrance. By the way, just dropped
Yes.
sauce on the way in. Jeez.
Jeez Louise. Good seeing you, Leo. Had a good Easter. There we go. Happy to hear it. Dude, I bought a mattress, like an inflatable mattress from Rivian and just literally camped by the beach for sunset last night as like my final mental reset before this week. Elite.
Damn.
Damn. Hola, mi amor. What's up, Mario? And away from the charts. It's always nice. What's this one looking like here? Yeah, so currently we actually do have this pretty large 5-minute SMT between gold and silver. I think that's also 15. Yeah, 5 and 15-minute SMT on GC. So if we actually confirm this SMT, like if we see a closure back above, this is actually something I could watch for into the New York Open. If we see a closure here above 47.03 flat, honestly, I would look to go long here on GC because this is SMT, but the thing that I really like, for those of you that have been tuning into these segments, one of the major things I like to trade is SMT within gap fills. So watching for SMT to form within fair values. So if this SMT confirms on the 15 or even on the 5, since this is a valid SMT, I'd be looking for long signatures, take it all the way up into like the 540 highs and even potentially higher into those higher time frame gaps. So this actually looks pretty solid. I see your kind of vision with GC here, Kane, a little more clearly now.
Yeah, I think just 4 hour low. I think it just looks,
Mhm.
especially considering the way that it closed on Thursday. I think they bought it. They bought it out of out. They bought it straight up off those lows, and kind
Yeah,
of reclaimed back up inside. And I think that 4 hour swing and that sequence, then the reoffer at the open, and then that reclaim. I think if any 4 hour low, we just buy. We try and
yeah,
buy those 4 hour lows until proven otherwise. Same thing on NQ really. I think, and when they
yeah,
align like
definitely.
that, I don't like to fade it. At the moment, I think NQ is in a really critical spot, like you said, and I think that if we can if we can get a 4 hour high that we fade at a weekly high, we haven't had those for 6, 7 weeks. And I think that if we're wrong there, we're wrong. And
Yeah,
we flip bullish and we just start accepting higher and then we buy reoffers. So I think it's a really critical point that if we start to accept a lot lower here, we'll be like, fuck, it was so obvious to get bearish at the weekly high.
yeah, definitely.
So it's just an area that I like to draw the line in the sand, say, yep, cool, I'm interested in this. And if it plays, it plays. If not, I'm wrong, then we know we
Yeah,
have to start accepting prices higher.
I agree. Let's see GC here. And Q's in a bit of a spot here too, since that's 7 o'clock, just this really tight accumulation. It's gonna be interesting. New York, I'm expecting a pretty strong manipulation to one side. But honestly, what can't lie, chat. I would love to see New York with this consolidation see an extremely aggressive bearish manipulation form into bullish distribution. New York kind of into 10 o'clock. I think that could be really nice. really manipulate out even the 645 low here and just continue higher off that. That'd be really sweet. It's good, everyone. Super refreshed from the weekend, ready to lock in. Ed, hell yeah. SMT indicator. I just map out my SMT myself, to be frank. That's what I typically do. Take my little SMT, draw it out, create a little chart, and then there we go. 22 I show.
He's old enough to be a Navy SEAL, astronaut, and a
Oh my
doctor. Out
God,
of the
Darian,
lungs.
bro. What did you get in your Lucid crate? I don't think I got a Lucid crate.
Did you log in?
But let me
I think
check right
everyone
now.
got one.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone got the
but
same.
I'm about to open it right now. Initialized dopamine. It just arrived. I didn't see it last night. Initialized dopamine delivery chat. Oh my gosh. Are we opening crates on stream now? Oh boy, that's loud. One sec. Scanning retinas, monitoring control, warning, cortisol spike. Sweet.
Did you get
Waiting.
I think you got
What
the
did we get,
40%
chat?
deal.
40% off applied on Pro and Flex evals. Bang.
Everyone
40%
got the
off.
same one.
Let's go.
We'll have a discount. We'll have a discount. We'll have a giveaway. We got given a bunch from Lucid, and we're giving them away on Profile and Compare later. So,
Yes, sir.
and we've been told they're all different. So, no double down button. Sad.
Double.
Yeah, we got a bunch of codes, so we're gonna give them away.
This is the way. About 13 minutes here into the open. We will see what happens. I meant to check what's USO at right now. USO 137, probably gonna open up around 134. Hey guys, if you haven't already, by the way, as we approach New York Open, we have over 200 of us, 80 likes on stream. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to Lab Live. Honestly, chat, let's see if we can hit 2K by the end of this week. Feasible? I think so. Share it with your grandma, your mom, the Easter Bunny, whatever you're
Definitely
feeling.
the
But
Easter
honestly,
Bunny. I want the Easter Bunny to turn up.
dude, that'd be so lit. Easter Bunny pulling up to the stream. What's up, Jordan? Leo, you trade full time? I do. Since graduation, we're now considered official full-time trading.
When did you graduate? Last week.
Yeah, literally a few weeks ago. I've been technically full-time trading for quite some time, but I have the official title now of it since graduation.
So I'll give people context because Leo is too proud to say, but um,
Jeez Louise.
Leo has been able to trade full time, and actually he contemplated dropping out of college, but his parents wouldn't let him. They told him that they would be really upset if he dropped out, which I think is fair enough. So he made them the agreement that he would finish college and then he would trade full time.
Yes, sir. That is indeed the story. It's got it right to a T. So now we are officially full-time trading chat. Long awaited, but we're finally there.
That's lit. It is lit as well, considering he graduated to become a rocket scientist.
Oh my God.
He did,
This is true. Now we're not even using the degree chat. Wasted potential. No, I'm joking. Imagine.
and he's a
Uh,
triathlete. Forgot to mention that.
oh my gosh. Now we're just hanging chat. Now we're just degeneracy on the charts and training triathlons. That's the gig now. And climbing up rocks.
Pretty crazy, if you ask me.
Crazy, crazy. Bit of an aggressive move here from NQ chat.
We like it though.
We do like it. This is exactly what we wanted. I'm no complaints on my end. Mm. Nice move here. What's GC doing? GC still major SMT present with silver. I'd really like to see if we can see a nice pop here on GC into the New York Open, close above the 60. No complaints on my end is all I'm gonna say. I would be a fan. Um, Took a short on 5 minutes to be target a minute. Nice. Very nice. Alrighty. New York Open in about 8 minutes. Ooh, no more. Actually, yeah, no more SMT with silver on GC. Keep on waiting. Yeah, chat. Just kind of, I'm gonna wait until the New York Open here. Not much to frame. Nasdaq's getting quite weak here. Kind of what I wanted. Wanted a strong bearish manipulation into the open, followed by bullish distribution, kind of into 10 o'clock. That for me would ideal. That'd be the ideal framework. Shorts in London low, definitely feasible. Definitely feasible. I mean, Nasdaq is looking relatively weak now, or quite weak. So I'm not opposed. Also did form an SMT in gap fill on the 5 minute here too. So if this confirms on this 5 minute closure, this is gonna probably send New York Open significantly lower. Short and low, do you aim for at least 1 hour or does it have to be slightly higher for draws to take? Typically I shoot for minimum I'll shoot for is about 1.5 hour. I've hit a lot of consistent max payouts on Top Step, and I also do trade personal. So if, I mean, personal capital I've had bigger than prop firm payouts, but in total I've had more from prop firm payouts because I trade options and futures. So I've been alternating between I'll take option swings which have paid out pretty big, and then futures intraday. 925 coming, always an injection. Also true. See if we confirm this. Yeah, we just confirmed this 5 minute SMT and gap fill, so this is probably going to send prices lower on NQ. Considering the IC short, looking into it for sure. Definitely looking into it, but we're a little too close to the New York Open personally, Dean, so I'm a little more hands off here. So we are less than 5 minutes away from New York Open. So typically I would consider the short, but because we're this close to New York Open, it's easy to get shaken out if we decide to quickly manipulate out the protected high. Ray, good question, honestly, but genuinely for me, just my biggest fixation comes from to longevity. So lots of reinvestments into long-term ports, building up a dividend port, long-term port. I obviously bought myself like a couple smaller things as well, but most of the time, most of my income was reinvested back into markets. Oh, wasn't your Discord name like Diano or something, Dean, originally? Am I tripping? Feel like it was like Diano, or maybe it was Dean Zero, something like that. I could have sworn. What's up, Dumbo? Bro's the poster child for responsible investing. Dude, it's longevity, man. That's funny. I think the biggest fear everybody has in markets is the idea of whether or not you can make it, you know, a, a long a long-standing thing, right? So investing in assets that will actually take you to that is kind of the smartest way to go about it. I'm not going to say I haven't got myself things here and there, like, get myself my current vehicle and whatever else, but like, those are things I'm using. Don't trade crypto. I invest a little bit in it, but don't trade it at all. You won't catch me doing that. We get SPX open here. 6 months from now, he'll be trading crypto. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Think I'm chilling. No full porting soul meme coins. No, I won't lie though, chat. I did have some NFTs though. Of all crypto things, I did have a few NFTs. I did get into the NFT space very briefly. I'll see if I can find my folder of the NFTs. I ended up selling all, and then obviously some went worthless super quick. But I did get involved in the NFT craze. I kind of did like the idea of it. All right, chat. It's looking like we're definitely going to get quite a strong. So, also, I know it's too close to New York Open, but this is the trade I would have taken here on Nasdaq. So, target of 1.5. Here we formed an SMT and gap fill on the 5 minute. So for me, this would have been my framework. Targeted the protected high here. This would have been or not targeted. This would have been my stop loss here at the protected high, with this SMT in this gap fill as well, and then target a 1.5. This would have been the exact trade I would have wanted to enter here. I didn't because we were way too close to New York Open, but this is kind of the framework I was looking for today. Also, we are 1 minute away from New York Open, so hold on to your horses, chat. Bit of a well, there goes a bit of a reaction there. Looks like we might actually tag out 1.5R pre-New York at this point. But yeah, this would have been the trade. This for me, SMT and gap fill, kind of like this, how we already formed a C2 sweep. Then candle 3 opens, we then form, which was the 9 o'clock open. Retrace into the fair value. It's exactly the same repeat of the trade we saw from the 6 o'clock to 5 to 6 o'clock window, just repeating from the 8 to 9 o'clock. This is actually a window I'll trade quite often as well. So we'll see how it happens. We do have 20 seconds until New York Open here, but assuming with this open, most likely we'll see a bearish continuation lower here.
Yeah, I agree.
But that does look really clean. Almost bought a PFP for 3.8K, then I realized it's a bit dumb. Yeah, dude, just take a screenshot of it and throw it on, dude. All right, there's a bit of a bullish pop here. See, this is why, if this invalidates, by the way, this is exactly why I don't enter and within 10, 15 minutes of New York Open. See, a perfectly good trade completely invalidated here just off the open. So hence why I did not enter this trade. regardless of good movement or not, chat. This is exactly why I don't enter trades close to New York Open. Just making you all aware. Be smart, not stupid. So we'll see what happens. Probably gonna get a bit more of a pop here. Be smart per money. Facts. I used to make the mistake trading the open. If you trade if you actually just scalp the open, chat, like unless you actually are a scalp trader, um, yeah, I mean you might as well go to the casino and throw all your income on black. Morning. What's up? Not just over. So there goes, for those of you wondering as well, this is kind of the bearish manipulation I was looking for. I said I wanted to see the 645 low swept out here, and we have swept out the 645 low on NASDAQ. So now we are seeing this bullish expansion higher here. This 5-minute closure will confirm. I'm actually more interested in this 3-minute. Let me see here. Yeah, this would confirm probably continuations higher. Sometimes it can work with the right framework. Yeah, this is true. But also just know that the amount of volatility at open does lead to, I mean, sure, you could probably find a model that would work okay with it, but there is definitely an unknown side of it where you're gambling to that extent. Wow. Strong open here. Looks like almost a 100-point move. There goes the SPX open as well. Gap up on SPX. GC silver removed the SMT, but gold's reacting nice to this 15-minute fair value that formed. So higher prices on gold incoming, it looks like. I'm just kind of sitting in the saddle here, waiting for this open to play. Open up the one. I like the one better here.
Hands off for me right now. Yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
waiting for 10. 10's going to give me a much better view of what's likely to happen. The current
Yep.
hourly candle being 9, I mean, we swept out 8 and 8 high. So 10 will give me a much better view whether we're going to go higher and if we could potentially take out that 10 o'clock that 6 o'clock high on the 4 hour. The 4 hour candle is just inside right now. So whatever happens, happens. I'm not super in love with it.
Yep.
I favor downside, but I wouldn't play it unless we take that 4 hour the next 4 hour high. So that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
I'm in agreement with Kane on this one. I'm hands off currently as well. 1 minute, we now form the new 15-minute at the 9:30 here. Massive fair value formed on the one. Regardless, I think we are going to see higher prices here. If this 1 minute closes, technically, this confirms a 1 minute continuation sequence, but uh, quite large here. Like if this closure happens here, this would be the framework as well. I might try, depending on this closure, I might try this light size for higher price on NQ. But it's quite far. Probably won't get I'll put a limit on this, but actually, I'm not getting in on this. Too close. I'm all right. I'll let this go. I agree with Can. I'm waiting till 10.
Yeah,
Probably gonna trace into the 60 here, but I'm just not risking this one for the biscuit.
trying to be more patient this week. I was definitely impatient last week, and
Hmm.
it cost me a bunch, but I left some money on the table that necessarily didn't need to be.
Yeah,
So yeah,
fair enough. There's the trace back into the 60 here, but just not too big of a fan of this. Quite strong on the movement there. There's a retrace into the 60. Probably gonna see if we pull higher.
when are you getting a sports car, Kane? Um, to be honest with you, market, I I don't really need one. Like My car is plenty quick, plenty comfortable, head turner, and the roads in the UK are just so fucking bad that like if I didn't have a car that could put up with it, I would fucking go do lally. Like one of my friends, he drives a Aston Martin DB11. Oh, DB11. I don't know. Anyway, we went and stayed at like a hotel the other day, like a bunch of us, and I followed him over there, and I'm not kidding you. He slowed down for every fucking speed bump and pothole, and I was like, I can just fucking go over these at 70.
True.
So at that point, it's like, why would I bother, you know?
Yeah. Trust me, chat. I agree with Kane. The UK roads are pretty shit.
To a mini
Wow.
sinkhole. Yeah, literally. Wow, what is this?
I know. Look at this sell off here. It's pretty nuts. Chat. Hence why no involvement on my end here. Jeez Louise. Hence why no involvement.
Hmm. Just gonna sell it off.
It's looking like it.
Are London roads worse than California roads? Darian asks.
I depends on where in California, but I'm gonna have to say they're pretty mediocre. I can't lie. Yeah, I think it depends where in London, where in California. If you go up more towards the mountains in California, California's worse. London countryside actually has some pretty solid roads though. Like I've been tempted to like take a road bike and just bike all throughout.
Oh
It'd be
yeah,
really, really,
like beautiful, like
but yeah, beautiful. And
unreal.
some of
Yeah,
the roads are so smooth. Dude, I'll get like passed in a Fiat going 100 miles an hour. I'm like, damn,
yeah. Chill, daddy, chill.
calm down. Also, it's so weird that they just have so many speed cameras. It's like we have no speed cameras in California, like none at all. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, we have fucking tons. It's
You have
embarrassing
so
actually.
many of them, dude. It's diabolical.
And the only thing they do is just try and catch you. They're just trying to make money off you. It's
Yeah,
not
that's it.
like it's all it is. Yeah,
All right, this is a whack market here, chat.
whack open. Yeah.
Whack, whack open. Yep.
I mean, they took out that hourly high. They're now trading back through the low. I could see it selling off, but there's just personally, there's no way for me to get into this.
Yeah, no, same here.
Yeah.
It's like we formed this long signature off the bearish manipulation. Now we're forming a short. We formed a sys Now we've also inversed the opening gap. We've inversed the open and we're tracing lower. This is two directional. There's some in Long Beach. I know, like in Long Beach, and they opened up their first speed camera in like San Francisco or something. But yeah, I mean, the UK is nuts. Like, if you don't have Waze open, like, dude, I'll be driving. I'm like, oh shit, speed camera in point 0.1 miles, and I'm going like 93. I'm joking,
You're
UK.
not
If you're
admitting
listening
to
to me, I
speeding, are
drive the
you?
speed limit.
On
What?
So you're not admitting to speeding.
No, I'm not admitting to
Of
speeding. I don't
course.
speed.
Exactly.
Like in virtual games and video games when I'm
Yeah.
doing car
In game
simulators.
in games.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
UK. I love a visa, by the way. Just heads up. Yeah, in games. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this open. This is crummy.
okay, so you got that 3 minute inverse after the hourly high. Um it's not present on ES, but it's there. I haven't taken it. Like I said, I'm sticking to trading post to 10. Um, it's there. I would have probably took a stab at it, maybe like adding or going break even at the opening range low, so I'd probably look to be break even on it any break lower from here. But I'm not in it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Kane can sponsor you, get that ring. Yeah, if you sign a prenup, I'll marry you. In fact, actually, no, don't sign the prenup. I want all of your shit.
Bro. Imagine.
I want the bike and the divorce, Leo.
All right, sounds good. The Sorellas, I got you. I'll put you in my will.
The doggos are off the table. No one's having the doggos.
This is crummy chat.
Yeah, it's crap. Yeah, I mean, this is where we just like bleed our balance out, right? Like by entering these types of markets. So we just have to
Yeah.
be sensible.
Yep. I'm not sure if it's gonna chop higher or lower. Definitely just not my market here. Steal his Dragos. Imagine. She can't climb anymore.
Leo the Baker. Who's Leo the Baker?
Could not tell you. Somebody saying that in chat. King, you should get some bakery goods from the very nice. Even SPX, yeah. Super sideways here.
What a shitty open.
I know. Looking like we're probably going to trace back into the 935 high.
Actually, I don't hate it right now, right? Because the longer we like kind of hang around here, the more likely we are to take like the 10 a.m. to take six o'clock high and to
True.
sweep out all the highs. So I kind of like it in all honesty. Um, so yeah.
Hands off for me there right now. Watching for this 5-minute close here. Not really much. Chat.
Yeah, fuck that.
Not my type of party. True. True, true, true. Think it's nobody's type of party here.
Gold's looking like it's going to move a little bit here.
Let's see.
It's having some quite aggressive sell down. I imagine that this is all just oil. Oh no. Fucking CL is just mooning.
Yeah, I meant to check USO. Holy, there goes. Yeah. USO pumping up to 139. SPX now making its way. Debut higher here. Thinking we're going to see the 635 high soon here. Quite an aggressive move.
Fucking $2 move on fucking oil that quick. Straight off the open. Rough.
Insane.
What does that even pay? Fuck, two bands on one contract.
Insane. Testing 50% 1 minute OB. There goes SPX here. 635 high inbound, I'm assuming. Nice movement here. SPX off the 75%. Nice movement here on SPX.
NQ doing NQ things.
True. Nearly tapping into the 635 high. Damn. Just popping higher here. See, that's 935 high. Come on. GC, yeah, GC's looking like it's ready to pop here soon as well. Hmm. Waiting, chat. Patience is going to pay here. 10 o'clock in 12 minutes as well. So hands off until then, it looks like. Three-minute would be looking nasty. True. Once again, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys are liking the stream, subscribing if you have not already. Let's get the stream to 200 likes. We can do it. We can definitely do it. Come on, SPX, get a strong 5-minute closure here and tap out the 935 high. Leo, you in SF? I'm south of SF. South of San Francisco. Last we did resweep out the 930 low and just grinding higher from that. Not giving me entry though, it seems. Yeah, no entries from me for this as well. None for me. Alright, let's see this next 5-minute on SPX. What's gonna happen? GC kind of flat line right now. Not too big of a fan of that either. Took a short scalp on demo. Gonna stay sharp. 101. There you go. Quick and easy.
Good luck, good luck. Yeah, divergence. It could play. I think the reality is if they open up here, they have to defend 400s at 10. If they can't defend it and they start to trade higher, then we're wrong and we're wrong all day. That's kind of the
Mm-hmm.
plan for me. Anyway, we can delete this fake oil trade. Long crude for our chart. Yeah, facts actually. Yeah, I need to see both now. Well, not necessarily. I mean, realistically for me, it's like actually we close now. It's nine swept out. Nine swept out, eight's low. So I'm expecting 10 to expand and then 11 to come back. Um, so yeah, I probably just won't be trading today, which sucks. But it for me, I would like to see a 10 a.m. reversal, but it's probably not going to play to 11, and I'm not going to hang
Mm-hmm.
around to 11. So yeah,
Yeah, for me right now, just honestly, it seems like we're gonna have a slow grind higher, just waiting for 10 o'clock, seeing how this plays out. But SPX, Nasdaq making their way to the 935 high here, it seems. Now we're forming major SMT at these highs as well. But yeah, as of right now, I'm just hands off, kind of waiting until 10 as well. If I want to, either I'm looking for a retrace into an imbalance, take a continuation sequence higher, or I'll just be completely hands off in the day. Gold here as well. Ideally want to see gold move higher, but it seems a bit consolidating barcodey right now, so I'm not too keen on that as well. Swap London high.
agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. I can't wait to see gold make a decision, not sit around in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. 6601 here, 935 high about to be swept on SPX. Yeah, we'll see. That's going to be a big transition into 10 o'clock then. Quite an aggressive 951 candle here. Huge reject off there we go. That's a sweep out of that's high day sweep as well on SPX.
Yes is nowhere near though.
Yeah. No, I know. Mass SMT here. Now, what's CL looking like? CL's definitely going to continue to rip higher here too on this retrace. Jeez Louise, chat.
Yeah,
10
it's one of those
o'clock here
days.
coming up soon. About 7 minutes till 10 o'clock. Come on. 5 minute looks quite strong on SPX here. Probably slow grind higher, it seems. I have a lot of these days recently as well. Make sure once again, if you guys haven't already, that you are liking the stream and subscribing if you have not already. We have almost 300 of us in the stream. I think we can definitely get upwards of 200 likes. We're trying to get the Lab Live to 2K here. I think we can definitely do it.
Yeah, what Leo said.
Vouch.
Vouch. Vouch for that guy.
Vouch. Whatever. What that guy said, man. All right, new 5 minute open. 66 on SPX. Okay, 5 minutes till 10. Do you also watch YM? I do personally watch YM from time to time. I do like SMTs with YM a decent amount. Me a nice little pop here, SPX. Into 10 o'clock, me a nice little pop. News at 10, yes. PMI.
If ES can close this hour as a swing, I'll stick around and hunt a trade. If not, I'm not going to be trading today because otherwise everything is said to expand, and I want to fade it, and I don't have a mechanism for getting long up here. So yeah.
So I'm talking at 1 p.m. Oh no, nope. I will not be trading then. Thank you very much. I'll be off the charts. Nice pop on gold here, by the way, Kane.
Yeah.
Definitely a nice pop on gold. Continue higher. SPX about to reach out over this 950 high too. All right, all right, all right. 6602.95. Looks like we're gonna have slow grind higher here. All right. Nice. Big pop. Gold as well here. Big pop. Confirm the SMT at the 950 on the 5 minute. Watch Prometheus and Covenant of the Weekend. Pretty good film. Nice. You know, it's a good film. Project Hail Mary. It's a really good film. Yeah, no framework. About a minute and a half here till 10. No framework for me so far. I think only real. Let's see what the 15 looks like here. Do SMT on the 15 with YM or something. Let me see. What about YM? No YM SMT here on these lows.
It's do or die now.
I guess we did have this 15-minute SMT, this quite large SMT at these lows. Yeah, chat. No framework for me here. Probably gonna wait, see if 10 o'clock pulls into a 9 o'clock imbalance on the hourly. 10 out of 10 movie, great. Saw it in IMAX. It's so good. I did the same. Jail, super good movie. Very, very good film. Do or die now. Yes. GC on the 3. GC is probably going to continue grinding higher here. There goes 10 o'clock open now. See if we retrace into this 3-minute imbalance. We just closed the 15-minute wick to wick. Probably see 10 o'clock grind higher here at this point. Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
that's that's me or out. That's me out, to be honest. ES can
Yeah.
close a swing. 10 on both ES and NQ is set to trade higher, at least by the expansion methodology and the way I trade. If it trades lower, it invalidates it for me. But I can't be against it on that basis. So that's me on the sidelines until 11, and I won't be here at 11. I have stuff to do, so I will not be trading today.
Yep.
Zero trades. Good morning, Bella. How are you?
Honestly,
Whereabouts in the
super
world are you right
quality.
now?
Yeah, chat. As of right now, only thing I could watch for is this 3-minute retrace into an imbalance and grab just 10 o'clock expansion higher. But even then, it's such a small imbalance that I'm not as keen on it. To be honest, chat, we will see. Watching see how this 1 minute closes and this three.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be way more patient. I mean,
Yeah, I
aggressive
think
Kane
that's
last week would have probably like tried to sell something in here,
yeah,
but I'm trying to just sit on the 15 5-minute chart until something aligns for me. And right now, it's aligning, but it's the previous price action is telling me that actually there is just no trade for me today.
yeah, completely fair. I think that's smart on your end. Like here we've traced into this 3-minute imbalance, and although it's tempting for me to try for some type of continuation sequence, like it's mostly hands off, such a small imbalance and a bit of shaky PA for me. So I'll be no trade for now, but for those of you that don't know, I'm staying on until the 11 o'clock. So I'll be here. I'll be here. Be here trying to see if we can frame anything, but obviously not trying to force. Even I want to be transparent with all of you too that even though, I'm going to be on a lot of these segments, right, on a weekly basis, my number one thing is I want to make sure that we're teaching within the lab, like the lab as a community and as a team, that we're preaching patience in markets, right? It's really easy to hop on a lot of YouTube live streams and see people scalping, 10 tick moves or, 10-point moves because, they framed it off of an SMA or whatever. And it's just, you're sitting there wondering, why are they trading so much? Reality is, true consistency comes from actually filtering out market probabilities for when you can or can't trade within your model, right? Realistically, Kane and I could hop on here and we could form, 20 different reasons as to why we could enter a trade that's outside of our model and potentially take a trade off of it. But the reality is, do we want to do that? No, because it doesn't preach any market consistency within an entry model. So for me personally as well, I'm less keen on wanting to take trades as a whole. And so making sure I'm taking less trades and higher quality trades. And even if I hop on a segment for 2 hours or however long and I'm not taking a trade, the reality is, well, I'm not taking a trade. So be it. I'm not going to force a trade just because I'm trying to entertain you guys. Because at the end of the day, I'm trying to protect my own capital too.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
pretty bad at that last week, to be honest. I got very impatient, trying to force things, and
I
yeah,
did
it
that a
was
bit as
just
well.
it was messy. The trades were
I,
there, but it kept me out of my actual trades that I should have been in.
mm, makes sense. It happens. Well, now at this point, faded these longs here on NQ 100%. Gold's getting weak here too. SPX was actually cranked higher there for a sec. Jeez Louise, chat. Well, just paid off those Bose speaker I bought over the weekend. There we go.
Boys, I'm a jump. It was a pleasure. Um, I will see you all tomorrow. I'll be live for London in the morning, and then I'll be back at New York. That's practically me all week this week, other than Friday. Friday I'm away. My friends It's my friend's stag do, bachelor party, whatever you want to call it. So I won't be here on Friday, but the rest of the week I'll be here.
Good
Leo,
sweet.
good luck, brother.
Thank you,
Um,
boss man.
all
Have a
right,
good one. I'll speak to you later this week.
all right, ciao.
Later. Ciao. Alrighty, chat. Yeah, so right now, honestly, still nothing from me. We're just staying patient. Yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, like in regards to markets or anything, these segments as well are used for education purposes too. So questions, comments, concerns, general comments, general questions, trading related, untrading, non-trading related, don't hesitate to ask because I do enjoy questions. So just letting y'all know. Yeah, thanks, Kane, for that segment. That was sick. Thanks, Jeff, for saying exactly what most people are thinking. Most people trade 10 to 15 point moves like it's times in a session. Your patience is what I'm aiming for in my trading. Yeah, there's no reason to force it. Like at the end of the day, what's going to make me more money? Scalping inconsistent 10 to 15 points or taking I would rather take one trade a week that I know is going to most likely yield me 2 to 3R than take 10 to 15 point scalps off of, seven different types of entry signatures. Oh, we're below the 7 and 20 EM or the 9 and 21 EMA or SMA, whatever it might be. I'm like, no, not no reason to do that. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. So yeah, as of right now though, chat, we are very much so hands off. Not lots. 10 a.m. reversal. Yeah, we are seeing the 10 a.m. reversal print, but I'm not even too interested on this. I'll probably wait until the new 15-minute here on the one. See if we can grab a continuation sequence off of this, like off the imbalance. That's the only thing realistically I feel okay framing right now, is the imbalances like this here. If we hold this fair value, retrace lower, then I could potentially frame sequences. But we will see. Do you trade props and personal differently or the same? Honestly, pretty identical. I mean, I copy trade both. I just use a larger scale on my personal account, to be frank. But personal, I kind of just treat it like prop firm rules. The amount of capital you have in your personal account is the amount of drawdown that you'd have on a prop firm. So I don't really change it too much. Keep it the same. What's up, Ray Ray? Would you say for base hits or just stick to normal model? I mean, base hits within a normal model. Stick with one model and aim for base hits. I think the common misconception is that you need to trade every day to be a profitable trader. Like the only people that really care too much about that are like spy pit traders that are holding multi tens of millions of dollars of positions. But for us retail traders, like one high quality trade that's yielding, 200, 150, 200, 300, $500 of profit, you just have to realize it's insane. Like the market that we're in, this industry is insane. The money that you can make from these markets just by sitting, I'm sitting in my chair. It is 7:08 a.m. on the West Coast, and by clicking buttons, I can have the chance of making a few hundred to making a few thousand, dependent on the probability and how confident I feel and how patient I am in markets, right? And that could happen within a 5 minute period, a 4 hour period, but regardless, the possibilities are endless in it. So why would you try and strip yourself of that freedom pleasure by just taking really stupid trades? That's what I don't understand that a lot of people do. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Hope that makes sense though, chat. It's crazy. Best industry in the world, yeah. Leo, what's your skincare routine? Dude, I mean, trust me, my skin's not this good, chat. It's just the Zoom stuff, man. It's like putting a glam filter on me. I'm not this good at my skincare, bro, I promise. I just splash water on my face in the shower, bro. Preach done 1600 after tax in less than 30 minutes. Exactly, right? Spot on. That's actually it to a T. Retracing this fair value, I might see if I can frame a short signature here, short continuation sequence, dependent on how we react here. But yeah, like same thing. Last week traded personal, 14 bands last week alone. I hate this is the only time you'll ever catch me saying numbers on that, but like I just sat on a desk and pressed buttons and was patient enough to press those buttons. Like it's a bit insane when you think about it. So I don't know. Just saying, chat. No reason to rush. We're all here for the same reasons. Dream car, Porsche 911 GT3. I actually test drove one the other day. 911 GT3, no question. No ifs, no buts, no coconuts, man. Yeah, 911 GT3 for sure. Well, chat, we might get the continuation sequence I want. How many likes for t-shirt to come off? How many likes for me to get banned is what you mean, Darian. Banned and removed, man. Banned and removed. GT4S is where it's at. GT4S is nice. It's more of a driver's car. I drove a Cayman S, which was pretty sweet. I like it. I just am not as the only reason I don't like it is I don't like the body of it. GT3 steering or full fat with the massive wing? Ooh, honestly, I would probably just do GT3 with the full fat and the massive wing, to be frank. Also, chat, I think I might we failed no closure here. God damn it. No closure on this. Frickin' frick, man. No closure. I want this closure. I wanted that closure below, man. No. I wanted this closure, dude. Shoot. I wanted this closure target a 1.5R. This is exactly what I wanted here for these shorts, but failed closure. G3 Touring, yeah. The Touring's just really nice. I like the frame of it is really, really gorgeous. Just the car in it of itself is beautiful. Also handles and corners really well. GT4S is also really nice. But I don't know. It's not my most preferred like look for a car. Failed closure. Yeah, chat. This is a no trade. This is a no trade AM session for me. Look at the invalidations here. Reaction into an immediate 1011, just pump higher. No reason for me. 1989 Aerox Z would be more impressive. That's clean whip. Yeah, honestly, I can't even argue that. I think that's a car I'd be driving in GTA though. Not quite. No, Seek and Destroy. I'd want to see this low. Want to see the 930 low taken out again. Then I could see that as a Seek and Destroy. I hear 911 ST is also pretty impressive. Yeah, definitely. That close just edged, bro. Yeah, I know. There's no reason, right? There's no framework here. There's literally no framework. GC as well in validation. Seek and destroy typically, you have to think of a seek and destroy pattern as the following, right? That's a seek and destroy. What have we seen right now? Look at the pattern comparison for seek and destroy. We've seen here, here, start of seek and destroy. There we go. But still, if we want to see seek and destroy, we want to see price continue kind of like this. No seek and destroy though. Would have been a seek and destroy had this short played out, but no seek and destroy here. Look at silver shorts. I suppose I can. Oop, wrong. Silver shorts. Yeah, they don't look bad, that's for sure. Yeah, not too shabby. I don't know. Large imbalance here. Probably gonna keep forming SMTs and invalidate that. So I'm not too keen on silver shorts. Gonna be honest with ya. Chat, what's your guys' goals for right now? What would you say your guys' goals are for the next coming months in trading? Do you have any personal trading goals? 1K pop before June, super feasible for you. What's your game? What's your game plan? Do you have an actual game plan for how you're going to go about it or no? Would like to copy trade some pro accounts. That's a great idea. 1K payout before June. Hell yeah. Getting a payout for sure. Get my first payout would be nice. 10K a month. Hell yeah. Does your trading consider daily bias heavily on more of the real-time PA? Daily bias definitely plays a big role in it. But I can switch my bias depending on how immediate market reacts, to be honest. Good goals so far, though, Chad. Do you guys have a given plan, though, with your trading? Do you have an actual plan for how you're going to go about reaching those goals, though? That's the real question. Because a lot of you I know can trade well and can trade, but do you have an actual plan? Follow your model. Mhm. Think trading in systems like at the same time are my personal prop, how you describe? Yeah. Selectivity. There we go. Coach Fred, that would do it. That would for sure do that. That would definitely do that. Selectivity is always a good reason as well. Adding strategically, true as well. Yeah, I typically never add in positions. I give credit to people that do. I just have never fancied adding into positions. Like if I'm in a position, I'm hoping that I've gotten a good fill, and if I'm not in a good fill, I just consider it a worse fill trade, you know? But I can definitely see like for longer term positions, absolutely. For me personally, I just see that as a lot harder for me to do personally. Keep on waiting. Trying the 1 minute short off 50%, 1 minute 60 slow rate. Fair enough. Fair enough, Joe. Pick up five lucid flex aggressively past them, then go for aggressively past them. Okay. Then go for base hits 101 and stick to my model. But when you go aggressive on the flexes, are you going to be able to stay uniform in 1-to-1 entries? Or are you going to let the passing your evals quick skew your mind and being like, shoot, now I want to take all my trades aggressively? Because that's the real issue that a lot of people face. They pass evals aggressively, and the next thing you know, they get screwed over by this idea that they can make money as quickly as they did with evaluations, you know? That being said, the lab stream is what was missing for you. So happy you guys are here for free. Yeah, I mean, that was the game. That's the game plan. Game plan, provide top quality education to all of you. And it seems like it's working well for the most part. I mean, although, I'm not on any trades right now, I hope that you're learning lessons on psychology and able to build consistency in markets as a result. You know, that's the true bread and butter. The true bread and butter. Just struggling with proper sizing. Are you trading minis, Trend? Genuine question. Are you trading minis? It's a real question for you. No, micros only. How many micros? How many micros? JL, your short's gonna be cooking. Short's gonna be cooking, JL. Low risk on this too. It looks like your low risk is gonna work well. I have a problem holding trades because I was a scalper for a long time. That's the death of a lot of people in markets. I hate to say it. Start with lighter size then. If you're afraid to hold, it's because you're probably sizing in too heavy. 15-minute wick I liked for me. Price should fill it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad call. Could you explain what made you interested in the 1 minute, 15-minute short on NQ? I wasn't personally interested in much here. Only thing I liked was the C2 sweep at the 10 o'clock where we saw the sweep and Sisti confirmation. This would have been a nice one. But I was not interested in any shorts here. Time windows you look to trade. New York Open, London session. So typically 9 to 11 a.m. 9 11 a.m. or 2 to 5 or 2 to 4 a.m. Plan for 5. I want to take a few losses. I scale down 3 to 2. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Hey Leo, would you say outside of trading, your life is really well systemized and orderly, and how do you manage the two, trading life, personal life? I mean, trading life is in the morning, right? The simple answer is I trade in the mornings. So I'm able For first to answer that question, yes, definitely I'd say my life is quite orderly in terms of how I approach general day-to-day activities and things. I'd say I'm very orderly, like I've got a lot of routine to my life, which helps a lot with consistency. I've mentioned this quite a lot, but when you're able to build consistency or discipline outside of the charts, you're going to really help yourself the second you make your way in the charts as well. So that's kind of what's helped me the best is creating more of an organized lifestyle outside of the charts and also disciplining myself outside the charts too. Consistent gym, consistent workouts. Physical fitness is a big one for me to stay mentally sane, and staying mentally sane then helps me trade better too, right? So, need it to fail here. Yeah, we'll see what happens, JL. It's rejecting off of this 1 minute imbalance quite aggressively. What ways do you discipline outside? For me, it's gym, general lifestyle. Like if I have things to get done, get them done. Fitness, yeah, fitness is a huge one though for me. Physical fitness is honestly key. Definitely physical fitness is a large one for me. Yeah, Rooks, that's what I'd say. And trading life and personal life, it's very easy to keep separate because trading is mostly in the morning for me, and then most of the time, then I just do, whatever I need to for the rest of the day. Like I'm done trading most days by on West Coast time by 8 a.m. And so I have the rest of the day kind of to do what I need to. Ran a 3 kilometer in 13 minutes. There we go. Is that good? Yeah, that's super solid. Well done. Phases of price sometimes, Adrian. Mostly higher time frame framework also works for me. So utilizing like higher time frame profiling. Keep on waiting, waiting. Pro being PSC trader done early. Dude, I know. Con up at 5 a.m. I was up at 4:15 a.m. today. Yeah, 4:15. Also, shout out London jet lag a bit. Used to roll out of bed like 20 minutes before market open to get analysis done. Dude, crazy. Crazy work. I need like, 20 minutes at least to gauge the charts and what my bias is for the day. Going for 12 minutes next week. There we go. Yeah, and 3K and 13 is super fast. Well done, boss man. Salut Leo, fitness keeps me sane. Good, as it should, respectfully. Yeah, chat. Really no framework here for me. I think it's just gonna be a no trade am, so we'll just do some education, hanging out with all of you here on the stream. I think that's kind of the best plan of action for today, considering that market isn't really presenting what I wanted. Guys, are most of you in the States? I think quite a few of us are in the States. Yeah, I'm doing California finals like CP and US one more group two. Incomplete same time and I pause trading. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it is the T trades fractal. TTFM fractal. Serotonin release makes you feel amazing from fitness. Absolutely. Anyone from Europe, my family. See, market's just kind of sideways on the 1 minute here. Three also looks a little stingy. Kind of looks like we're going to continue higher. It's going to be a slow chop higher. What do you look for in a trade? Sherry, I've gone through quite a bit, but definitely look for higher time frame sweeps, change in state of delivery confirmation, SMT divergence, and gap fills. London, UK here. There we go. I was just in London. I was just in London. You travel a lot, yeah, sir? Yeah, I travel quite a lot. Can't lie, Chad. I travel a lot. feel like I'm always in the move. At least once a month, I'm on the move. I just love traveling. Can't lie. It's
Hmm.
the best country you've been to, Leo? It's a good question, actually. Can't lie. I mean, I had a really good experience with all the guys. Cape Town, South Africa was really cool. I think my personal favorite, just bias as well, because of family and where I'm from, but south of France. South of France, 100%. South of France was definitely the best for me. Waiting on 15-minute close, and we'll see if it closes. May close early. Yeah, we'll see. This is looking nice here on the three. Kind of if this closes back below, we'll fail this inversion, and that's going to be big to your favor, JL. So these shorts would probably play out well. Hey, I'm from Cape Town. There you go. Yeah, Cape Town is great. Antibes is also really nice, Coach Fred. I was thinking like Nice and Cassis. In Cassis, I do, Coach. Don't like 3 minute double mark. Yeah, can't lie either. But still, it doesn't look too bad here for these shorts. If this 3 minute closes well, we're gonna fail this inversion. The 10 o'clock inverse. Sometimes Rooks, but I only trade London mostly when I am in London, to be frank. Only trade London when I am physically present in London. Because 1 to 2 a.m. would just not be feasible for my health. You are French? Yes. All my family's from there. Je parle français très bien. Français, anglais. We'll see, Joe. We'll see what happens here, Joe. Oh mon Dieu. Oh mon Dieu. You speak French too, Fred. Bro, Darian. Chill. Chill. Only two. Yep. Oh, sweet. There we go. Yeah, 3 minute doubles doesn't look too good. It looks like it's just gonna grind higher. I thought I liked it, but we also failed to re-inverse it. We failed to fail the inversion. Français, pas mal. French chat, it's a great language. Boss giving sauce once again. Dude, we're given sauce, but market's not presenting the sauce to actually get in with the sauce. So personally right now, no given sauce for myself. Um but yeah, sauce caption. I know, dude. Sauce caption. To check what's on the drop something on the floor here. Yeah, chat. I do apologize though. Like the thing is that there's a big part of me that wants to apologize when I don't take trades on stream, but then I have to realize I'm like, guys, would I rather take a losing trade or would I rather preserve my capital? Or would I rather take a lower probability trade or would I rather preserve my capital? And my answer is almost always going to be I'd rather preserve my capital. And by almost always, I mean 100% of the time. So that's what we're doing, chat. That is what we are doing. Number of trades per day doesn't exceed 3, Dylan. Sawception. I love that, Darian. Yo, Arturo, good seeing you, by the way, boss. Been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, 3 trades a day max, Dylan. I don't excel 3 trades a day. 3 is the maximum. Average R's about, I mean, I typically shoot for 1.5 R. It depends on the month, but per trade, I'd say I'm on average around like a 1.4 to 1.7. It's a rough range. I need to actually run through all my statistics. I know in February was higher. It was almost upwards of 2R in February. So, yeah, chat. Once again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys are liking the stream, subscribing again, sharing these streams. Helps out the Lab Live a lot. We really want to get um, the Lab Live to 2K subs would be sweet. As you guys know, Lab is giving away lots of stuff, lots of education. So, just saying. How do you manage study during trading? Well, luckily I don't have to worry about studies anymore. Luckily I don't need to. But typically most of the time, um, biggest things that help me with just consistency in trading as a whole, and managing studies. I mean, make your exams your priority because the second you let your exam stress get to you, you're going to take lower probability trades. So the honest answer and the quickest answer I can give is ensure consistency and ensure that you are focusing on your stressors first. Because if you carry stressors into a live market scenario, it's going to make you be way less consistent with trading. My trade seems like how you trade, sir. Quick 1 minute out. Oh, nice. I don't typically take like quick 1 minute trades. My 1 minute trades typically take like 10 to 30 minutes, sometimes even longer. So interesting to see different stats, bro. How do you feel any form of pressure, high win rate? Break even in my system helps me out with that. But the 1.5R, I have a pretty high win rate, so it's no complaints. No complaints on my end, honestly. Either you either make time for everything or make time for nothing. Exactly, right? I think the common one that we all hear is, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. It sounds really cringy. It sounds really cringy, but it's honestly fucking fantastic, right? If you want to get good at trading, spend the time to trade. If you're not good at trading, or you're not spending the time to trading, you can't expect to be good. Same thing with the gym. If you want to get good at the gym, you can't expect to be good at the gym, but go once a week. You can't expect to be good at running and run once a week. If you want to be good at studies, right? Get rid of the focus on your studies and make that your priority as well. Make studies your priority. Transition from studies once you have less stress into other areas of your life. Build discipline as a whole. Pre-trading routine, water, water, couple deep breaths, unintentional deep breaths because it's just the morning deep breaths. Don't really have a routine. I'm not going to fake it and be like, yeah, guys, I journal for 10 minutes. I talk about my system in my head. I tell myself I will be successful. I will be successful. I just know I'm going to be. I wish I could BS and give you a fake reply, but I got to be frank. I'm very much so. I'm chilling. I'm very much so on the whatever happens happens. I don't need a routine, man. I understand it. I'm not gonna ever judge people that have routines, but I just gotta be so frank, guys. It's like no real point for me, is what I'm trying to say. It's what I'm trying to say. Leo, take 12 milligrams white monster before you jump into the chart. I'm chilling, dude. I don't even have caffeine. Chad, I've been up since 4:20, not a lick of caffeine. I feel great. I'm just chilling right now. I'm just hanging. Look at this PA, by the way. This is untradeable PA. Untradeable PA. Currently navigating uni trading. Is it an unrealistic expectation to try and become consistently profitable during this time? No, dude, that's where I built my profitability. Uni was where I actually became the most profitable version of myself. If you want that to be your reality, Rooks, then you make that your reality, right? School should always be a priority, especially because you're paying for it. But spend free time working on skill sets and working on the psychology side. If you have the technical down, then psychology becomes your next fixation. Yeah, Darian, I'm glad you said period because I agree. I totally am just yeah, I don't have a routine chat. Sometimes I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes I've rolled out of bed 5 minutes before market and then I'll just wait until 10 o'clock to trade. I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, yeah, dude, I'm sitting here and I'm meditating and I'm thanking myself for the good trades I've taken recently and I'm envisioning good trades. You can be delusional about it, chat. And I'm not gonna lie, I definitely get delusional about my success, but there's extents. Also, chat, 193 of us, almost 200, 138 likes on the stream. Can we get 12 more of us? I think 150 likes on the segment would be pretty dope, man. Is downing a bottle of water and taking a piss? Exactly, Darian. Boom. Honestly, Darian, I vouch for Darian on that. This is untradeable price action chat. GC continued higher, kind of what Kane wanted with GC moving higher today. That's what we're seeing now. How long have you been trading? January 7th of 2019. Why not make charts full screen? I mean, they are. It's just we all have different size screens, so it just helps. Wow. Speak of gold in the meantime, gold just decided to go rippy, I guess. GG's. Gold really just decided to go rippy, it seems. Okay. Very nice. Well done, MGC. Tango Tango. I mean, GC Longs almost got stopped out. How'd you almost get stopped out on GC Longs if you're in GC Longs? GC Longs are moving right now. Did you have a mentor? Actually, I didn't. All self-taught. I like I had as I became more involved in the scene, like I transitioned more from options to futures, then I had more mentors during that transition period. But yeah, I can't say I had like one solid mentor. T Trades and I have been really close though since like 2020, 2021 actually. So he's kind of my best friend, but also we've like mentored each other, I guess if that makes sense. Selling right now, don't know why. Fair. Deep retrace here. GC, not much happening. NQ, not a lot of sauce either. I'm out. Made 500 extra today. Going out now. Sit down for the day. There you go. JL. Good stuff, boss man. Call it wraps. That's a quit. Good stuff. Proud of you, boss man. Enjoy the rest of your day. Down 500, trying to scalp this chop. That's where you're mistaken, boss. Not a good idea. Don't scalp this chop. That's what's gonna burn your account more. Even if you get out of the rough, dude, that inconsistent type of trading is what's gonna blow your accounts more than anything. Minute 15 had a deep retrace, right? How are those first few years of trading? Oh my god, I experienced so many losses, Fletch. So many losses. Year and a half worth of paychecks. Dude, I went through the whole 10 series, man. Can't even lie. I went through the roughs. I went through the roughs on trading. Wow, I don't know what's happening in NQ. Does anybody know if there's news happening right now? Quite an aggressive 1 minute here. For options, took me about 2.5 years. And then with futures, it was a pretty quick transition with me, about half a year for futures. Yeah, I had to start an OF just to pay off my debt, chat. I was in the trenches. Wow, what's this 50-point movement? Nice. Nice NQ. Well done. Guess we just are moving. So be it. C'est la vie. Always when I get out of moves, I know, and then Nasdaq just tanks. Sorry, Jail. Apologies, boss. I'm rejecting ceasefire. Ah, c'est la vie. C'est la vie. Of course. Rejecting ceasefire. Of course. Classic, right? What can we expect, chat? At this point, market just moves off of high impact news, man. I'm so bored of it. I'm so bored of it. Hope high impact news reject. Here we go. Oh, and another time. And another time. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like falling asleep, chat. Like it's exciting seeing the PA, but I'm not trading that. So I'm just bored. Give me some good PA, man. Give me some October to December PA. please and thank you respectfully. I'm saying I'm asking graciously. Another reject here, and another reject, and another reject. Bum. First thing you bought from a payout to treat yourself? I think I reinvested all of it. Paid off credit card. Paid off my credit card. Reinvested it. Sounds boring, but I think that's genuinely what I did. Didn't buy anything nice. I mean, I have no reason, right? It's a material item. I don't need it. Bro, I bought McDonald's strawberry milkshake. Fire. Fire as hell, dude. That's so neat. That's how it should be. Buy a milkshake. That's see. Short quick part. Now what you should do is every time you get a payout, you get that and you Pavlov train yourself into believing every time you get a payout, you get that and you're just golden, man. It's a repetitive cycle of profits. Boring makes you successful. True. True. It's pretty boring, man. That's why you're here right now. True. I get the feeling you like matcha. I can't say I've had a lot of matcha. I do like it, but it's not something I actively seek out, if that makes sense. It's not something I actively seek out. Also, thank you, chat, for the 150 likes on the stream. You guys did end up hitting it. You guys came through clutch. I love matcha. Matcha's good. I mean, funny enough, I actually did have a strawberry matcha yesterday because I was trying it out. Apparently, this place made really good ones, and I was like, all right, let's try it out. And it was pretty solid. Wasn't like insane, but it was solid. See if I have a flicture of it here. Look at this chat. I don't know if you guys can even see that right now. Massive strawberry matcha. It was really good. See, chat, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm just at this point. There's just nothing frameworking here. NASDAQ, not a lot happening. GC, not a lot happening. Rejecting off the IB high. That's about it. That's about it. That is literally about it, chat. Not too much else. Phew. Get a little yawny. Been up early. Any trades taken? Nope. No trades. Quite a boring day in terms of trading today. And I mean, a very boring day. It's the initial balance high. It's the first, this IB high is the first 15-minute range that an asset creates. I keep making a nice wedge. Yep. Rejecting failed inversion here. It's going to be. Had a good session with Juno and London. Caught 1 2 hour. Nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, Juno's great. London's also been moving. Like I honestly miss the fact that I'm not in London right now. Just because when I was there, London session was playing out so well, chat. London session was playing out so well. London has been working much better for me as well. Better structure, way better structure in London. Way better structure in London. Chat, really nothing much here to frame. What do you trade in London? NQ as well as GC, but typically NQ is my primary in London session. Ranges in Asian London are better. Yeah, you also see, I feel like you can really clearly see like London manipulation of Asia's range, which leads to most of London's move, and as a whole, just moves better. Well, if this confirms, this is going to be a continuation sequence here on shorts right here. This confirms this will be a continuation sequence. If I wanted to as well, I could do a tighter stop because this technically retraced into it. So this closure here would be a continuation. See how this 1 minute plays out. Something like this. Protected stop here. I'm not going to be in this trade chat, but I'm just marking this out just to show you guys kind of roughly what I'd be looking for. See, if this closure is just a massive wick too, I'm less keen on it. Probably put limit. I do like limit order here. Stop at this protected high. Target a 1.5R, which aligns well with the low here. It's not bad actually. See, that would have been tagged in. We're gonna let this play. Just let this baby play. Well, looks like this one's gonna play. 3 minutes 60 is probably better, yeah. Hmm, not even. I mean, yeah, kind of, but the 1 minute actually traced into a known imbalance. This might actually play out. Quick little 31 point short. Aligns well with this 1039 low. I think this actually is going to play out. Funny enough. 4 micros in a dream. Oh, well there it goes, chat. 1.5 played out. GG's. Casually marking up a 1 minute continuation sequence. Shorts were, I mean, decent imbalance. Failed the imbalance. Closure below 1.5. Yo, GG. Unintentional. All right. Cheers, chat. That was funny. Well, there's the short signature. A little easy. I mean, it confirmed it. Next low here, we're probably going to make our way back into the 10 o'clock low, this 10:06 low. That's our next draw here on this trade. Trend. I have quite a few videos on it, but it's basically continuation sequences. So when an imbalance forms, like a fair value gap, you watch for a trace into a fair value like this after a candle two sweep is formed. So candle two, this is kind of the range, right? Form candle one forms a range. Candle two sweeps the higher, the lower the range, closes back in, confirms below a change in state of delivery. Once we close below a change in state of delivery, we let candle two continue to play out, right? Candle two continues to play out. C3 opens, we trace into an imbalance like a fair value gap in candle two's range, reject it, close below 60, grab a continuation sequence lower, which is exactly what this was here. Well, now the relevant low is going to get taken out here. It's going to be 44.75 points here. This tags out. Jeepers, man. That's going to play out. She's weak. There we go. GG's. Full draw hit on that. Full DOL hit on that. Jeez Louise. Markets are going to continue lower, it seems. Sauce. Thanks, man. Yeah, I got you. That's the simplest and quickest way I can give you an explanation for how I trade. Literally it. Could probably post an educational recap on this one because this is a really solid trade. Actually played out. full, and that would have been two-hour trade on that as well. London lows maybe could get a flush down. It's looking like we're quite weak. I feel bad for JL. JL hopped off. He's gonna hop on and see that market decided to finally just continue lower, eh? Sold the 91, still trailing. Very nice. Very nice. Selling the 91. Very nice. There you go. 1050 to 1110. Yeah. Within the macro out. There you go, Fred. Bien fait, mec. If we respect this imbalance, this is just going to continue going lower here. 1 minute imbalance here. If we respect this, it's going to continue. We're going to see some sauce lower here, chap. That's what it seems. What signature do you look for when you enter C2? Higher time frame sweep, clear draw and liquidity at the lows. That's what Kane's talking about, being patient. Yeah, exactly. Especially the trade you outlooked right now. Exactly. Patience pays, man. There's the reason why the word patience has the word pay in it. Patience pays. What are your indicators? TLM, HTF candles, and T-Trades Fractal Model Pro. That's all I use. All I use. That's literally it. Nothing else. Probably might have formed an SMT at these highs as well, I'm assuming. Yeah, and we formed an SMT at the highs. Yep. Look at this. Formed an SMT at these highs. Yeah, that's an SMT there too. SMT, C2 signature closure. This created the SMT. That was the C2. Change in state of delivery. Primary. C2 closes. C3 traces in. C3 signature. That was really solid. Played out beautifully. This actually played out great. Can't even lie, chat. This one played out very well. Yeah, I can't lie though. I think I'm gonna be hands off for today, chat. Probably call it end of the New York AM session here in a few minutes. Just because not seeing too much here. Really not too keen on wanting to take any other trades. We're probably just gonna trace higher, like a little bit of a deeper tracement here since we wiped out the 10 o'clock low. Um, excuse me, chat. Little sneeze there. You trade London, New York? Yes, I do. London and New York, not Asia. I don't trade Asia. I let Asia play, but I trade London and New York. Those are my sessions. Bless you. Thank you. Yeah. Now we've swept out this low, so we're probably going to continue higher. Chat, no framework from me here. So I honestly think I'm just going to hop off, call it end of the New York AM session. I'm on quite a few days this week, though. Let me check the schedule once again here, but I believe I'm on 4 days this week. I believe New York, I'll be on for New York PM session tomorrow. I'll be on for New York AM, same session I am right now. And I'll also be on for Thursday, New York PM session. So we've got quite a few different segments for this week. But honestly, I really just don't want to force anything. We leave Asia for Ice Cube. Exactly. Don't want to force anything. So that being said, I'm going to be hopping off. Make sure you guys stay tuned and have notifications on and subscribe if you haven't already. We do have the Lab Live New York PM session stream happening today, which will be hosted graciously by Bray. Bray will be on today for New York PM session. So if you guys haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will catch you all. The schedule is posted on the YouTube. You'll see that we have the scheduled streams throughout the week. So without further ado, guys, I'm going to be hopping off for today. Thank you all so much for hopping on today and sharing this space and time during the New York AM session. And without further ado, guys, I'll see you all tomorrow for PM session, Wednesday for AM, and Thursday for PM session as well. So thank you all for tuning in again. And without further ado, I will see you all in the very next stream. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all very soon. I think that's it.